Big Z Reviews. Delicious in Dungeon is a new anime series that is just about finishing its first season on streaming, at least in America, probably around the world, non-Japan, on Netflix. And I'm not sure if it's like a complete Netflix original or not, but I absolutely loved it.
つまり魔物を食べるってこと？
こうなったら是が非でも味が知りたい。
俺は絶対食わないからな。
完成じゃ。
それうまいか？
美味しい。
バカにして悪かったな。
気にするな。ただ通りすがっただけ。
わからん。もうやっちゃう。
私は一度空腹でレッドドラゴンに負けたんだ。同じ鉄は踏まない。だろ?
So for reference, I was not familiar with Delicious in Dungeon. Like I first saw about it the YouTuber ProZD, Sungwon Chu, Cho. He had tweeted about it that he was voicing Senshi in it, and that go watch it. And he's like saying how it was always one of my favorite manga, and that it was such an honor to be the English voice for it. And I watched the first episode, and it was amazing. I loved it. And it's so funny. It's tough though because they only have one of the few Netflix things when they're only releasing one episode a week. It's kind of great, but at the same time, it's like you have to wait for it. And it's funny, after watching a couple of them, loving them, I thought I'd check out the manga, and it's really good too. Although it's funny, it's like both good and bad, because I think because of the popularity of this show, book 3 is impossible to find at the moment. I got book 1 and book 2 and read them and really good, but thankfully I think if I had book 3, I would have read all the books by now, and then I wouldn't be seeing each episode all things happening for the first time. It's funny, I tried to eBay, nothing. The used market on Amazon, I found a copy of it for wasn't too expensive, for $20, and I ordered it, and then they still hadn't shipped it out to me. I finally canceled their order because now March 15th, it looks like they're actually getting a new printing of the manga, so that there should be book 3 should be available everywhere. It's starting the middle of March, and then at the regular price. That's why I canceled the other one. So and I ordered book 3, and also they go over there. You see, I have Target had a sale, buy one get one half off on all their books, but they only had the 4 newest books of Delicious in Dungeon. So I was like, whatever, I do really like it. So okay, I'll order those 4 books. And I still have to order I have book 4. I have to order 5, 6, and 7 whenever I get book 3, if there's not another sale. But the whole idea of this is that in this world, there is this dungeon that popped up, where there's this ancient kingdom that disappeared, but then now this wizard has cast this spell in the dungeon where if anyone dies in it, their soul is still attached to their bodies, and that you can perform a reincarnation spell, and they would, as long as their body is healed, they would be reborn like they were never dead. So that, and this whole thing that people are trying to go into the dungeon and final level, the idea that if you defeat the Grand Wizard, you will be you'll take his place, or you'll gain the riches of his treasure hoard. And but that's the setup of this world. But a setup for these characters is that there's a party that before the show started, they had a horrible failed mission where they encountered a red dragon, and that they were defeated. But the rest of the magician did a teleportation spell to send them all back to safety. But unfortunately, the one character was eaten by the dragon, and because she was in his belly, they couldn't be sent back. So then now they have to, even though they have no resources, they need to go back deep into the dungeon and kill the dragon and take her body out of its guts before she can be digested. But of course, because they don't have very many resources, they have to find a way to survive in the dungeon. So Laos has this plan he's always wanted to taste all the different monsters in the dungeon. And he thinks that this would be the perfect opportunity. So he decides that while they're going through the dungeon, they'll get all their food from the monsters. They'll eat the monsters. And they encounter Senshi. He is a dwarf that's like lives in the dungeon and is like loves to cook all the different monsters. He joins their party, and it becomes like half dungeon and crawl adventure and half cooking show. And they make these delicious foods from all the different like monsters, like a mushroom monster or like a giant squid or like plants, like man-eating plants, and like all different sort of things. And I love that like the Marcille, voiced by Emily Rudd, she's like an elf sorceress. Like she's always like, I don't want to eat that. I think it's always so reluctant. And then whenever she eats it, she's like, that's good. Like you think, so she hates that it tastes so good. But Senshi is and Laos are so good at making the dishes that it's delicious, and in the anime it looks really good. And Laos, the American voice actor is Damien C. Haas, and there's also Chilchuck, who's like a halfling or something like that. He's like their thief, their rogue, and like he's played by Casey Mongillo, and like they have they really feel like friends. It's really well written manga and well written show. Like from the first two I read, they're like directly adapted. Like they're very true to the manga. Although I don't know, like it was one like episode 8. Like some of the action, the art is amazing. It's really almost more sketchy and very different from the rest of the relatively simplistic animation. That it was like, whoa, what is this? I want to see more of this. Like some of the action, I think it's episode 7 or 8, is like fantastic. The drawing of it, it's a very different style. Like, I'm not sure if that had a different style in the manga or if that's just in the show. But I hope that they have more of that. Like right now, I just finished watching like I think the next to last episode. Like, I'm not sure if there's like 11 or 12. The 12 might be the wrap up, so it might be like the second to last episode. But I thought I'd get a review out now because it is an amazing anime, and I hope that like more people watch it and we actually get another season, because it seems like there's like for how many books there are, there's definitely at least another season that they could do. And I really hope they do, because I absolutely love Delicious in Dungeon. It's such an interesting combination of like cooking food and dungeon crawling, and they trying to they go save their party member, the one's sister, while she's being digested by a dragon. There's a lot of interesting conversation with how like they're eating monsters which eat humans. So it's like, does this make us cannibals? And like, well, no, we're not eating humans. We're eating the monsters. Like, there's so many interesting things to the show, and all the voice acting is excellent. Like, this is one that you definitely won't hurt to watch the dub. I think the dub is excellent. Like the best dub I've seen on Netflix. Some of the Netflix shows, when you watch a dubbed like German or European or whatever show, it can be really bad. But I feel like they did a lot of excellent work with it. And like I said, I would also recommend the manga by Ryoku Ikui. Like I only read 2 of them so far because I can't read the 3rd one yet. But I'm loving the manga too. And I know whenever I do, I'm going to probably read them all while I wait for a season 2, hopefully. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.